That's fun.
That's nice. This is nice. We should record here more often.
Yeah, but it's in a browser.
Oh, browsers.
Browsers are the worst. All right.
Houston, we have a problem.
Give me all you got!
What I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Give me back my son! I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Stand and Watch, the best and only dad movie podcast, because we killed all the other ones.
We murdered them in their sleep. They are no longer recording, talking about dad movies. This is the only podcast where you're getting that.
Yes, and that is why Steve Buscemi, how you doing, Steve, always listens, and all you wonderful standees.
This is Steve Buscemi's favorite movie podcast. It says
Yes.
so on our poster. You can't deny it. It's on the poster.
And it's there, it's on the internet, and that means it's true. I am once again your host, Matt.
And I'm your other host, Nick, and we are joined by a special guest, a good friend of mine, good Fortnite friend of mine, Jeremy Adams.
Pew pew. Hello.
Jeremy, I usually do the homework and look up everything somebody has done so I can list it all off and be impressive.
Fair enough.
But you know what? I'm going to let you do it. You're way better at talking about you than I am.
Wow, that just makes me come across as a real egocentric. Well, anyway, so when I was a kid, so I'm a screenwriter and comic book writer. I've done a bunch of animated movies, all the Mortal Kombat animated movies, a bunch of Lego stuff, and currently I do a lot of stuff for DC Comics. I write Aquaman, I write Green Lantern Corps with my friend Morgan, and Flash Gordon for a company called Mad Cave. So I do a lot of that, and I have a new show coming out in June called, well, it's not new, it's new to me. It's like the third season of Lego Dreams that they asked me to come in and take over, which would be really wacky. So yeah, that's what I do. I write and I play video games when I'm not writing.
Jeremy, I feel like since you work at DC, I can ask you this question, and
Sure.
no one will beat you up. Who is faster, the Flash or Sonic?
Flash. No, it's Flash. It's Flash. Flash, guys. It's Flash.
Are you not reading the Sonic DC crossover that's going on right now? I'm pretty sure Sonic is...
No, doesn't matter. Listen, if talk to me, I wrote like 36 issues of the Flash. I'm telling you right now, he's the most powerful being in the DC universe. The being.
Out of everything else DC does, he is the end all be all.
He can basically accelerate 0 to the speed of light. It's kind of how he's connected to this.
Okay,
the speed.
but who's faster, the Flash or Batman with prep time?
Ooh. I see that's always the question, right?
So what I'm hearing is that the Flash is good at running away.
Yeah, that's
danger.
exactly what he does. Faster. I mean, absolute top speed, the Flash. The problem with the Flash, at least the way that I always wrote him, is that he's so nice. That's his issue. Because he'll pause to like talk, and that's when he gets a battering right in the noggin,
There's two. In my Flash knowledge, I bought a few Flash comics that you read or you wrote. I've never read them. I've read some of your other stuff. I have some of your other stuff that I have read.
You don't
I've never
have to
read
read them. He got the residuals from your purchase.
They were my first comic books ever. Comic books ever, I swear. Just haven't read them. That means when I go to sell them, when we're all in like our 90s, that they'll be. But never read. Look at the corners.
9.5.
But Jeremy, so you know how Pawn Stars has a guy for everything. Jeremy is our 80s action movie aficionado. He's our 80 actions movie guy, right, Jeremy?
I have weirdly two speeds: 80s action movies and like teeny bopper romances. Like She's All That and Can't Buy Me Love, and then everything that's been done by B to A-list martial art movie stars.
I like your niche. This is a niche I can get with. We have Jeremy here today because we are doing a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It's not from the 80s, but it's close enough. We wanted to have him on for RoboCop, but I think this is the perfect situation to introduce Jeremy to the podcast. Let me jump right in and read this little synopsis I got here. So we're doing Sudden Death. Sudden Death is a 1995 American action thriller film directed by Peter Hyams. Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Powers Booth, Raymond J. Barry, and Dorian Harewood, the film pits a lone fire marshal against extortionists who hold unsuspecting NHL players and fans for ransom during Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and set payment milestones to coincide with the game's progress. It was Haim's second directional collaboration with Van Damme after Time Cop, another great movie, and before Enemies Closer.
Enemies Closer. Yeah, he plays a crazy villain. Van Damme does, and it's great. He should play villains more.
He was the villain in one of the Expendable movies too.
He was the villain in Expendables 2, and me and my friend always quote him in it. When there's one part where he like looks at Sylvester Stallone and goes, "Don't challenge me."
Challenge me. He had, I swear to you, in Expendables, he must have just gotten an eye lift or something. His eyes were so weird in that movie, and he kept wearing sunglasses, and I'm like, I don't know, this is very strange, but you know, the guy needed the money. I love Van Damme. I don't know if you guys like my nutty affiliation with Van Damme is, I remember when I was a kid and there was VHS, like video stores, and I would be constantly trying to figure out how to get my mom to let me rent a rated R movie, and especially like a martial art movie or whatever. And I remember I distinctly remember being on one aisle and hearing this guy talk to his girlfriend and say, "Oh, have you ever seen Bloodsport? It's great. The only thing, there's like a scene of his butt in it or something." And I was like, I can get my mom to buy off on this. Like, you know, there wasn't like female nudity, and, you know, that was the extent of the nudity. And I was like, Mom, it's called Bloodsport. And I remember watching it, and I was like, I got to learn to do the splits. Like, it was that instantaneous. And then they shot part of Universal Soldier in my hometown. And our high school had an AV club. I'm going far afield. I don't know if Nick told you this, but I totally tangent. So they had an AV club, and this kid got to go up and interview different people. And he would ask him like one question. And he gets to Van Damme, and he says, Van Damme goes, "You can ask me one question." And he goes, "Would you kick me in the head?" And Van Damme goes, "Do you have your insurance paid up?" And he's like, yeah, man, just kick me in the head. And Van Damme taps him in the head, and the kid looks at the camera, and I have never been more jealous in my entire life. Like, I am still chasing that, to the point that I pitched Hard Target 3 to Universal because I was like, I've got to get Van Damme to kick me in the head, and this is the only way how, by pitching Van Damme movies. We got really close. Anyways.
I mean, you're both still alive, so he could kick you in the head. It could still happen.
There's a non-zero chance.
The sudden death. I mean, listen, this is. We have to start with your positive sandwich, right?
We have you're jumping the gun. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. No, I like the enthusiasm, but Nick is correct. Let's hit the listeners and Steve Buscemi with our dad-approved letterbox reviews.
Go. Okay, great.
So share what the cinephiles think.
So I'll do mine first. Mine comes from somebody named Pube, which
Wow.
Go ahead. They gave it a 3.5 and a heart, and they said Arnold, Stallone, and Bruce never fought a giant penguin woman in a kitchen and killed her in a dish machine.
That is true. They never did.
It's a good review.
Yeah. I got a review here from Theo, who is a patron. Good for you, Moneybags, who gave this 3 stars and a heart and wrote, "This is like if Michael Scott's Threat Level Midnight was a serious movie."
I love that so much.
Serious.
I have one from a guy named Groove Man. Van Damme punches a chick dressed in a penguin suit in the face. Automatic 5 stars. That's succinct to me. That's like, yeah, all right. That guy has a bar for a movie, and it's like, does the chick get punched? Like, it's like an automatic.
I'm trying to. I like to imagine that his whole profile is like Citizen Kane 1 star.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodfellas 1 star.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the problem with all these classic movies? No, there's no women in penguin suits getting punched in the face.
He goes to see this movie, and he's like John Belushi and Blues Brothers, just like light pouring onto his face, and he's like, oh, "I've seen it. This is it." Glorious.
Do you think those other action guys were like, "I need my woman in a penguin shoot movie. We need
They're
it."
all fighting. Yeah. Probably not.
Is this
they're throwing scripts against the wall. Give me a fucking penguin suit movie.
Yeah.
Has John Wick hit a woman? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the full ending of number 2 is like him versus the bodyguard girl from Batwoman or whatever.
I thought that was Common.
He's not
No,
from
Common is Common is in the subway.
They have
Yeah.
that silent shootout with the
Yeah,
silencers.
yeah, which is incredible. And then at the end he's in like a hall of mirrors or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But they weren't in penguin suits, so
No,
he automatically loses a star.
That's what makes or breaks you, for real cinema.
But again, we're starting a trend here on this podcast. This is our second movie where some sports organization recklessly let Hollywood run amok with their mascot.
I learned that a producer of this movie was owned the Penguins or something, or was an owner of the Penguins at the time.
Awesome. I mean, I'm from like the West Coast. Like we weren't really into hockey, so it's like this is a great primer for for the sport. We saw the mullets, we saw the teeth missing, it was great.
There was a guy wearing a cup on his head in the locker
Oh
room.
my gosh. That was yeah.
Let's just get right into it. So for those at home, they already know what's going down, but Jeremy's new to this. So we have a positivity sandwich. It's the way we talk about movies. You got the bread, which is the good part, the meat, which is the bad part, and then the bread again, which is the other good part. I'm told
Health-wise, that's backwards, but okay.
Yeah.
the 2019 movie Lightyear fixed that problem with their meat sandwich, but that was a okay movie. But Jeremy, do you want to start us off? You are the Van Damme aficionado.
Killed, right? Like that's the that's the positivity. No, I mean that actually is something that I can always say about this. Is a weird movie because in the library of Jean-Claude Van Damme, this is kind of the top. This is where things start to dip, and you can tell this is kind of a dippy, but it's still theatrically released. And I'm sure it's because there's a lot of cocaine stuff happening based on the amount of time he was actually in this movie. But like what I love about movies of that time, or any action movie that takes a swing that's like, hey, we're going to open this with the most traumatic thing ever. He's going to have a little girl get crushed in his arms. And you're like, man, that's a lot. Like we're just going to do it as quick as possible. That to me, at least you go, okay, this is going to be, there are going to be a lot of hardcore deaths, or at least a lot of like needless deaths. There's a lot of killing, randomized killing.
Was Die Hard this violent with its killing? Like, was there
I don't
this
think
big of
so.
a body count in Die Hard?
No,
I don't think so. There was the boss. There was Ellis.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
It was the terrorist in Die Hard that got most of like the brutal deaths in Die Hard. But this, like,
they're killing everybody.
there's the scene where the one terrorist is with the chef's wife, and you're like, oh, we're gonna keep cutting back to this, and she's gonna find a way to escape. No, they gun her down.
Yeah,
No,
almost
they are-
immediately too.
Yeah, they are like pretty bloodthirsty, and like in Die Hard, everything is driven toward his end goal, right? Like everything. The overriding principle of this movie is like, I think they could have done this easier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of talking. We never see them plant C4 everywhere. It is literally like, there was an executive go, I just want Die Hard, just Die Hard, cast these little kids. It was very peculiar. It's a very peculiar movie in terms of that. Powers Booth. What's interesting is I was like, oh my gosh, so he's the bad guy with the worst wigs ever to exist on the entire, especially near the end. Oh my god!
Oh, the mustache, and he turns around, and you're just like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
Yeah. His disguise to get out is to look like a Muppet, or like absolutely look not even human. And you're just like, that's what you're doing? Oh, no one will see me looking like with absolute terrible hair and a fake mustache. It's like really bad.
He even does the mustache push down. He does it.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And that's the funny thing. In Die Hard, we get a glimpse of all the individual henchmen, and like we get a little taste of who they are as characters. Here we get one guy, he dies very quickly, and then it's like the Secret Service guy that's doubling he didn't know what he was doing either. I'm gonna go see the kid. Tell the kid he needs to come with us, and then I guess I'll walk away. I guess I won't go. I guess I won't get his kid. Like it was so random.
I guess I'll go reveal.
They had concepts of a plan.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing I was gonna say is, Powers Booth, who plays the bad guy, and the guy who plays the vice president. The minute I saw them together, I was like, oh my gosh, they were in Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee, which is a much better action movie. Which is so killer, but they totally play opposites in those movies too, which is hilarious.
I like that everyone is like Booth and then a Hallmark are both Secret Service, but they're just so slapstick.
Oh,
they're just
so bad. I mean, Howard Booth is like like I said, there is a thin veneer of a plot, and then they just keep talking around it, and it's just like so. We might blow up this place, and we might blow up the vice president, and we might blow up this but I have to do it by the quarter, like the end of the. It's like, why? Just say you've got this much time, but no, it's a hockey movie. We've got to do it by each of these things. It's like, well, that seems arbitrary. I don't know. Seems a little arbitrary. And no hockey. Now we're in the meat of this thing, and every hockey fan that there is like. There's cops that are surrounding this place. Like there's no conversation, and they leave. Like there's not guards.
The one random bomb that goes off and like randomly the hull of this arena is flooded.
Yeah, flooded. Hey, but I'm just like laughing because it's like all the cops are around there, but I'm like I said, no one is guarding the entrances. The security guard just rolls in. Doop, doop, doop. Like they were like, oh, we've got these guys and we know they're Secret Service. I'm like, yeah, but what about Bob that wants a hot dog and forgot something out at his car and like looks outside and sees like all these things? Is he gonna go, I don't know, maybe I should tell everybody that there's cops all around this place.
Now, Jeremy, you were the only one around in the 90s. You're the only one old enough to be around then. So were you allowed to go back out to your car after going into an arena though?
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you could. I mean, I can't imagine you not knowing something about what's going on. Like, wouldn't you? I don't know.
Yeah, someone had to go out and smoke.
I mean, people were allowed. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. People were coming in. A Zamboni got out. Like a Zamboni with a dead body got out, and nobody. There's nobody going to take a leak.
How far did that drive?
Right. There's nobody else that's working there that's like, hey, something's up. Like, I mean, it's impossible.
It does feel like there's nobody like everybody's nobody's in the stands.
Right.
Nobody's getting concessions. It's an
Right.
empty arena.
That was weird. And then there was like, so like the positivity is like, I'm here for crazy deaths. That's the great thing about 80s action movies. Everybody dies. What's missing from this one is everybody usually gets killed, and there's a great, one-liner. Like, it's Schwarzenegger throwing the machete and being like, stick around, or whatever. Or, my favorite is Commando. It's just a string of them. Like, remember when I told you I'd kill you last? I lied, and drops them. And then immediately, what happened to Polly? I let him go. It's like, those are like one after another. This is like, you kill it's not just a mascot. It's a giant buff woman dressed as a mascot that almost kicks Van Damme's tush. He kills her by sticking her in a dishwasher, like, cuts her neck off or whatever. Yeah. And there's nothing. It's not,
He kills a man with a chicken bone and doesn't say anything about it.
Doesn't say anything. It's like, I guess you won the wish or whatever. Like, there should have been something. Like,
You're totally boned.
Yeah, the dishes are done. Like, stay in the kitchen, woman. Like, something misogynistic.
You're washed. Yeah. You're washed.
All washed up. Yeah.
I love that this kitchen is like a Final Destination death trap. You have the fan sticking out. You have the dry ice just sitting out there.
It actually did become comical, and I love that the chef let everybody go and then turned everything on.
Yeah, everything. Nobody's in there. It's all on.
It's like burning everything, chopping. But I do appreciate it. The one thing I thought would happen, and I was surprised, was another positive thing. Van Damme, to escape, jumps into the suit of the goalie and goes out there and stops a goal, which I thought was great, and then immediately punches the guy to get off. But what's so dumb about it is, like, hey, it's your smart plan to get away. And then immediately you go back and they see you go back. So nothing was accomplished whatsoever. So you still have to deal with the same situation. But I was hoping with those skates, Hal Van Dam, the guy who's known for kicking, this is why I think he was on drugs the entire time. Known for kicking, did not sidekick anybody in the throat with those skates. Like that is like number one. I was expecting a guy to come around the corner like I'm going, and then shunk, like that skate should have cut somebody's throat.
What is this? Is this PG-13? No, this was R, right?
Yeah, this is
There's
this
so many
is ours.
so many bullets in the head. Yeah.
That guy
Yeah.
was killing everyone.
Everybody,
Everyone.
yeah, they. It's such a good example of how they have no plan. They're just killing everyone in this stadium.
Yeah.
They're walking in with, their whole plan is we're going to come in dressed as the popcorn guys, and immediately, who the hell are you? Okay, we're just going to kill you then.
Yes, or even weirder was like Van Damme has this call with Powers Booth, and he's just like, if you kill this girl, this is how the game's going to be played, and he dictates the rules, and I'm like, why does he get to dictate the rules? I'm going to go look for your C4, and you're going to try to stop me. But if you kill anybody, then I will like there's like a step C that never gets there. It's like, then I'll really come after you. It's like, well, he wants you to come after him. Like he wants you to come after him. Like at no point, it made no sense. Van Damme is like threatening this guy. If you touch that little girl, then I am going to. And by the way, here's another stupid thing. All right,
I think I know which one you're about to say. I was about to say it too.
Stamps his hand. All right.
Chekhov stamp.
Yeah, she's got these Coke bottle glasses, and she's like, there he is, Daddy. He's right there. First of all, you didn't see it wasn't the hand that gave it away. It was the fact it looked just like the guy with the bad. Yes. And number two, hey, moron little child. At least the older kid who's a total dick the entire time, right? But Van Damme's like, you stay right there. You don't move. Maybe you should have told that to your daughter, because the very end, what does she do? Like walks away, gets pulled. Again, Powers Booth grabs this little girl who's only going to slow him down, and then pulls her up the ladder to the longest escape ever, where it's like, the helicopter's there. Here's a rope ladder, but let's just float around here a little bit. It's like,
Also, why are you? What's the end game there for taking her? Like, you gonna ransom her to the fire marshal for the Pittsburgh Penguins?
I don't mind the idea that at that point he's just like, well, fuck this guy.
Well, listen, it goes back to no one had a plan. Like Van Damme's random plan was, I'm going to jump down, somehow swing across a zip line that happened to be there, fall off that onto a light. Then we see like the total rig he's wearing. Then I throw a concoction that we don't know he can make that explodes a perfect hole in the top. And then he dives through. I'm like, what is happening? Like, there had to be an easier way.
All these explosions, all these bombs you're putting out, but you just made a fucking bomb and swung down from the ceiling with it?
Yeah. And by the way, your daughter's in there. Maybe throwing explosives at the place where your daughter isn't the greatest idea, But I love that they kept trying to figure out every way to make sure that he didn't have a gun. Like, it would be like a gun and be like, ooh, the dishwasher's too hot. It was like, what? Like, go get the gun. It's a dishwasher. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you had your hand pretty close to that dry. Like, what are you doing? And Matt, it's funny that you bring up that the Penguins owner like produced this or whatever, or was a producer on it. Yeah. The Penguins, no chance in hell in '95 they were making it to the Cup. This is him like, hey, what if we did a movie where the Penguins got to the Cup and everyone's like, we can't do it. It's fantasy. What if I pay for it? Okay, all right.
Well, look, there's a reason they don't show who won the game.
Right.
Because it would have been Chicago.
I mean, but the things I love is like, hey, when they blow up the sudden death sign and it's like fireworks going everywhere. Things I hate, that helicopter dropping perfectly, vertically past him in the worst possible way. Man, like can we make this more unbelievable? No, more unbelievable. Until the very end when it smashes, but it's like slow motion, except Van Damme is not in slow motion. and Powers Booth inside the helicopter is not slow motion, so that they can have a meaningful look at each other, and we can get enough of a scream before he crashes to his death is pretty preposterous.
Really cool miniatures there, right? In that
Yeah.
moment, though, I
Yeah.
was like, wow, this is a really cool miniature, and
Yeah.
they're blowing it up.
I mean, there's a lot of that. I appreciate I appreciate it being around. I just felt like they needed to extend it. And it did feel like for a Van Damme movie, he isn't in it that much. And the setup from going from point A to point B to point C or whatever, he's like, I need a little more time. You being the fire chief doesn't explain your ability to kill people. Like, you know what I mean? Being a fire chief doesn't, it explains like, hey, maybe I know how, they have this in every action movie. It's the Rambo scene. It's like, 3 Purple Hearts, bronze medal, good at demolition, blah, blah, blah. Like you need that moment of, oh, this guy was not just a fire marshal. He was an arson expert, like something to say, or they always do that with the people that English is not their first speaking language, whether it's a Schwarzenegger movie or a Van Damme movie, it's always like, well, how did this guy with the wacky accent get into this movie? And he's like, I played, hockey in Canada, that was it. That's all we got, and you're like, well, maybe you should have had a military career or something for me to understand how you're able to eliminate everyone.
I also didn't like how the first 2 periods, stuff going on in the middle of them felt very light, whereas the third period felt like it was doing a lot of the, like, it just felt like you had that natural, like, 3 acts in the 3 periods.
Right.
And the movie was like, no, we're going to put all the big stuff, like, towards the end. Like, yeah, he's going to fight the penguin, but then after he fights the penguin, you're going to be waiting for something to happen all the way until the third period.
Yeah, the first act, everything happens so quickly. Like they even introduce the villain plot really fast.
Yeah.
Like you're not waiting around. Like even in Die Hard, you're kind of like waiting around a bit before they ever show up. And
Right.
in this movie, pretty much right away, you're seeing their plan in motion.
Mhm.
And then he fights the penguin, and then I guess he was off doing cocaine because he's not really doing anything in between that fight and the third act.
He's searching for where I think they might be. Well, okay.
Which is
I
the
guess
most
that-
boring part of the movie.
Yeah, it's just like it's all coincidental. It's like, well, I got this blueprint, and now I can, in 3 dimensions, figure out where this thing's like. I don't know. But the other thing is like, I love that like we as an audience here. This guy he's a fireman. This kid dies in his arms. He's crushed. It makes him not want to do the fireman. And obviously it probably led to divorce. And it's like, yeah, Van Damme's such a loser. It's like, he's a hero that was trying to save a little girl. And everybody's like, yeah, what a bitch. Like, as he pulls up to the house, the stepdad's awesome playing with, his kid. And then his wife's like, yeah, F you wimp. Just because a girl died in your arms, like everybody's giving, and I'm like, this guy is traumatized. Can we have a little like empathy for the dude? And even the kids are like, he's not a fire marshal anymore.
Yeah, is that what he does now? He changes light bulbs.
Now that all the kids at school make fun of him because he's not a fire marshal. It's like, what are you talking about? He's still like, I don't
Yeah,
understand.
he just got you free tickets to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Game 7 and in your hometown. You be thankful.
Yes, it was like, oh my gosh, like, why should we hate him? I just hate his wife. Like, that's, I don't, it's like they've given me no reason. I just despise his wife. The other funny thing is the girl who played the penguin, the first mascot, the first girl, we never really see her face. It's the weirdest shot thing ever. It's like, hey, little girl, da da da. And I'm like, who is this person? Is this a potential love interest? We'll never know because Peter Hyams decided not to shoot her ever here. Like, I can't see anything in her face. It's the weirdest thing. I've been seeing that. Like, David Ayers has been doing that with his last couple action movies. I'm like, here you have Jeremy Irons, Academy Award winning Jeremy Irons. He's amazing. You know what would be the best is to shoot this part of his face when he talks. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I want to see. And that's weird because Peter Hyams has done, you said he's done 3 movies, Van Damme? I feel like he did more, but Time Cop's great. And Enemies Closer is okay. but he's no slouch. It's just a weird movie that feels very fat when it comes to some of the talking and some of the other stuff going on. Very strange to me.
Yeah, and then the way they positioned the whole Hallmark betrayal, like he was really a bad guy the whole time. Like it was just really.
And
Yeah, by the way,
it feels like such
By
a
the way-
last minute thing too,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like earlier in the movie, Powers Booth is like, "Yeah, your Secret Service were so bad, you know, you didn't do this or this or this," and it's like, well, no, he was working for them, so I guess that was the plan.
yeah, yeah.
So like,
I mean, and that's the other thing is they never connected those two because he was former Secret Service. So we're supposed to like hint at like, it could have been like, hey, when we decided to do this, like anything, give me anything to grab onto so that I could care about who the villains are because I don't, that's it. It is a very weird, very, very weird piece of writing for the characters because I just didn't. You don't care about any of them. You want to know enough. Like in Die Hard, you had the guy with the blonde hair, and that was like holy cap. There was like a boss battle in Die Hard, right? You had that guy. You had the guy who was in Walker Texas Ranger was, he was the computer guy that was cutting into the safe. Here you have a guy who's playing Doom and it's like he's just refreshing the browser. That's all his job is. It's like, no.
yeah, they haven't sent it yet. They sent some, but not all of it.
Not all of it. And
You
just
have
like,
you have the George Michael clone who shoots the old
Yes.
lady.
yes, that guy, that random guy.
Yeah,
He
you have
he died. Oh yeah, he was in the helicopter.
he was in the helicopter. You have the Bono clone who gets stabbed with the chicken bone.
Yes, the guy that shot the old lady and like should have died a more spectacular. Like really, they had built that character up. Like at least I can. And that guy should have gotten something. Something should have happened to him. And he should have got squished between the things.
One, it hurt. It just hurts because they kill the most memorable side boss like in the first 40 minutes of the movie.
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
no, she could have carried the movie. I don't know what part of your plan needed you to kill the mascot lady to take over her role, but she was at least really cool.
I know. Yeah.
I know they could have kept her with her fucked up hand.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. So, like all that, some of the kill scenes were great. The Super Soaker with I guarantee you that probably caused a great deal of fires after that movie. But we were already doing that, so But that's the thing. That is the type of piece of the story that they crammed in. You can feel it, right? It's like, well, we'll name them Hallmark because I want to do a joke about Hallmark. You're like, oh, okay. And there's like a James Bond movie where Denise Richards' name is
Christmas Jones.
Right. Just
Yeah.
so that at the end they can say Christmas comes twice a year. Like that's literally the only reason.
I forgot about
that's
that.
the only reason that they're like, well, we got to work this backwards. That is such a writer, and it's like, well, I'd love to see him with the Super Soaker, burn somebody. And it's like we don't set up the fact that this kid is bringing in a Super Soaker to a game, that he likes these toys. Nothing. It's just, what do you have there, Billy? It's like, give me that Super Soaker. It's very random.
And when
Very-
did he put gasoline in it? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he found the Zippo lighter, so he like poured the Zippo fluid in there. And by the way, it doesn't burn that well.
He knows from experience.
Uh,
Christmas comes twice.
I
And the
know.
Broccolis were worried about Amazon ruining
I
it.
know, right? I know they're all snooty about it. It's like, oh, hold on, everybody.
We're
I've
highbrow here.
seen Roger Moore.
Listen,
up
I'd like to
until,
see Jeff Bezos come up with Christmas comes twice a year.
It's so
Maybe-
funny to me.
Maybe he'll do it in the Penny mini series that he wants to do,
Right.
the Money Penny mini series.
Right.
Penny for your thoughts.
Penny Football.
Love making scene.
So should we go to so we have to go back to being good now? Is that part of the sandwich?
I mean, we don't have to if we don't want to.
This could
No,
be an
I-
open
I-
face sandwich.
Yeah.
Powers Booth's always one of the weird characters. Everybody tells me how great he is, and he always has a vibe that I'm like, I don't know if I like him.
I don't think I've
love
seen him in
Van Damme.
anything
I never
else.
Van Damme.
He was
It's like-
he was Curly Bill.
Curly
Yeah,
Bill?
right. That's
Yeah.
right. In Tombstone, yeah.
That's right.
And he shows up, like I said, rapid fire, amazing movie. Brandon Lee, go watch it.
I do like Powers Booth in this. I think he's like he he busts in there, and the one guy's like, "This guy needs a doctor," and he shoots him. Not anymore. I
Listen,
do
you're
like
right.
that.
That is great. It just is ruined by that horrid hit wig at the end of the movie.
Yeah, no, his plan is terrible, but I do like. I don't care about him, but I do like him in the movie. I think he's fun. He's a fun villain, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this guy. But
It's that
also,
first.
There was literally a shot where they had to show you him taking that $25,000 watch and dumping it. I'm like, he could put it in his pocket. You know what I mean? Like at no point did well, you got to cut in because his disguise. He's letting that watch go.
If you pointed at a $25,000 watch and a $20 watch,
Yeah.
I'd struggle. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
they both tell the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
exactly.
that's a metaphor. You hold on to that for a script in the future.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll work backwards.
You know what they did? They didn't have in this movie, which this is probably what caused the curse of the bad movies for Van Damme. This might be the first movie up until then that he hadn't done the splits in the entire movie. Chat GPT, anyone?
Ooh.
No, I'm like literally thinking about it now. He didn't do the split. There was every movie. That was the thing. He had to figure out a way to do the splits. Blood
Yeah,
splits on top, everything. And
There were
he didn't do it at all.
There are a few opportunities here, but
Yeah.
he didn't.
Wow.
He could have done it when going from the scoreboard to the light, trying to get. He could have. It would have been like a half-assed one, but he could have done it.
He could have done it when he was like up in the bleachers.
Yeah. Anything.
He could have done it while he was being goalie.
There was.
He could have saved it with the
Dude,
splits.
There it is,
That
right
could have
there.
been the thing. He just splits down and hits him right in the cup, and he's out. Takes the puck. That would have been awesome, dude. Fix the movie.
We need to reshoot it.
Maybe like whatever the goalie's Robichaux just did the splits. He'll do anything for this thing,
I do think that's my favorite part of the movie. I forgot it even existed, and just to see him save, that's a hero moment. I kind of wish they had built up to it.
Yeah.
And made it like.
The puck started coming. He's like, oh, he's freaking out, and I was like, I really do feel that. I also love that to get off the ice, he just punches the guy, and the coach is screaming at him, "That's $1,000 fine!"
Nothing to these guys. They're professionals. They're professionals.
So fun. But by the way, imagine these poor penguins going in, and this is the other thing. Van Damme goes back in the room. There's like the trainer, the masseuse. Is like, hey, what are you doing in there? Van Damme doesn't even attempt to save that guy. He doesn't say, like, get out of the way, hide. The guy comes in, just sprays bullets on this guy. The poor penguins, their mascot is killed. Their mascot, the person wearing, but who, by the way, who cleaned up the mascot the second time when he goes in? Like, who was the cleaner? Barbara from the dishwasher and shuttled her into a stall somewhere because he comes, no, she was right there. And it's like, who got her out? Like, there's no point, and then the security guy's like, wow, sure, or whoever it was. Like, so dumb.
That is, who's doing that, and what point do they have? Oh, these penguins are driving me crazy. I gotta clean up the mess.
Whoever the cleaner is terrifies me. He's the guy you should be worried about. He got rid of a woman in a giant mascot uniform in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, she was stuck in there too.
He was stuck.
This is the third dead mascot in as many months. I need a new job.
Cousin, what's wrong with the dishwasher? Like,
oh man, what a fucking movie!
yeah.
Is this? So we just mentioned the soccer one. Is there a football and baseball and basketball equivalent to this?
I mean, I want to say the Last Boy Scout has football in it, but I don't know.
But yeah.
I don't know about baseball. I mean, because it's so so stupid. Like the idea that you're having to. There's too many variables. That's the problem with this whole thing is there's thousands of people. Like if you take one step back and you just go, yeah, not everybody. Somebody's going to realize there's a dead body. Somebody's going to realize there's cops. Somebody's going to realize something, and then it's all over, right? That spreads like wildfire. Look at anybody. If a car backfires, everybody runs like Mach 8,
right.
Trampling over anybody. And you're saying that no one, the only time it empties is when the sudden death thing explodes. People are like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm like, why are you out of there? You don't even know human body exploded it. I would think that it would look like fireworks. I'm like, wow, what a display. Let's keep this going.
I know how they could do it with baseball.
How?
In listening to you talk, I know how they could do it. You know how like when not enough tickets sell, they black it out on TV?
Yeah.
So it's this group that is planning a heist. They're planning on kidnapping the owner's daughter during a TV blacked out game and ransoming her off because there's nobody at there's next to nobody at the game. This is like an empty baseball game.
Right.
And then I don't have the hero yet. Is the hero like a bat boy who like is getting fired that day?
That's right. No, you got to do like a baseball player that is getting ready to retire, but he has the hardest swing that like ever, so it's like him going around with a baseball bat, like walking tall.
Here,
just
make him a double A lifer.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're sending him down. This is Glenn Powell. Who is a designated hitter. They're sending him down, and he realizes the owner's daughter, who he loves, by the way, has been kidnapped, and he has to fight his way up to the president's box to save her.
Right. That's right.
We did it.
Genius.
We did it.
Jeremy,
We
don't
did it.
steal that idea. Copyright, trademark. Trademark copy. And we call it blackout because it's a blackout game. Boom.
There you go. You're done.
Somebody call Glenn Powell. Get Glenn Powell.
Are there other sports? Did we miss any? How would you do it for WrestleMania?
Yeah. No, that's too easy. I think it has to be something like what's the Olympic sport where you have the sliding the kettle across the ice? Curling. Yeah, it's curling. That's the real one with the hostage situation. There was actually one called Decathlon, starring or Pentathlon with Dolph Lundgren. And he trained so hard, he ended up being an actual coach for like the Olympic team or something. Like this is a real thing. I'm not making this up.
This sounds like you're making it up.
No, it's true. It's true.
The movie's called Triathlon.
Neither one. Wait, it's not triathlon. It's decathlon or pentathlon. It's pentathlon.
Pentathlon
The one that has
movie.
guns. Pentathlon. Look up Dolph Lundgren.
You know what? I believe Dolph Lundgren would do that.
Yeah. Well, I was playing a guy in Warzone today, and his name was Gandalf Lundgren, and I was like, "That's a great."
All right, hold on. I'm pulling up Dolph's.
Pentathlon, 1994.
Thank you, Dolph. Yeah.
Why is this a movie?
Yeah. No.
The film
Why
stars
isn't it?
Dolph Lundgren as an East German Olympic gold medalist pentathlete on the run from a lethal coach, played by Hutch himself, David Soul.
Yeah.
This is why we can't make movies anymore. You guys made all the good ones back in the 90s.
That's what I'm saying. I always say this. I'm like, if Netflix would just come to me and say, I want you to make $5 million or under action movies, I would give them so many movies. It would just be churning them out.
You know what, though? For as dumb as this movie is, Netflix wishes they made Sudden Death.
Totally. 100%. And by the way, the sequel, Sudden Death, did really well for them. And it's all those like straight to video action movies do really well. And you know why? Is because they're not $200 million like Gray Man. It's like your return on investment is not that hard to achieve. If you think about Gray Man, and I know it's hard to think about because it goes in and it's like, what was it about? I don't know. Can you tell me a good action scene? I don't know. I don't remember it. It's not there. Sudden death, chicken bone in the throat.
Yeah.
The mascot on the thing, and that costs probably a fraction of what it was.
Yeah, what was the one that just came out? The Electric State? No, everybody's already forgotten it.
Nobody knows what Electric State is. But you give me stuff like, even now to this day, if you gave me Van Damme, Hard Target 3, I'm telling you, I had the best bitch ever.
Jeremy, if you did, and I know we're going to get to our IMDb goofs, but if you had your 10 Netflix action movies, who would be who's your DiCaprio? Who's the action actor
Scott
you're
Adkins is the best low budget action star right now.
Who is it?
Scott Adkins. You would notice he played a fat guy in John Wick. He had a fat suit on. But he's this unbelievable martial artist, and he plays all these really interesting personalities. But he's always doing the Van Damme knockoff, like Universal Soldier 4 or Ninja 2, but he's awesome. And he just did this movie, two of them, not recently. They're called One Shot. It's a one-shot action movie. It's all one take. Now, if it's really one take, who's to say? But it looks like it's one take, and it's really good. And then they did a sequel, another one shot, or another shot, or something.
Oh, one more shot.
More shot with Tom Berenger's in it, and it is one shot. And it's great. It's great for an action movie. That's pretty cool. He just did one that's like a sniper one. It takes place in a hotel room where there's a sniper having to pin down the entire movie. And he does these really the Accident Man and the Avengement. And anyways, he's really, really great. He's really good. Michael Jai White is another one of those guys that you're just like, oh, you're really good. Those are the type of guys that when I was growing up, you would have your A-list at the time. It was Seagal and Van Damme, but underneath that, you'd have Cynthia Rothrock and Richard Norton, who just passed away, and you would have all the Billy Blanks movies that I would watch incessantly because the straight-to-video market was massive. But that stuff would be really cool because every time it shows up, the straight-to-video type action movies, they always do unbelievable well. I think even now, the top 10, like one of the sniper movies, which a friend of mine, Chad, is the star of, those movies, Tom Berenger was in Sniper 1, which is an awesome movie. I think, and Billy Zane's in it. And then there's a sequel. And then after that, they did like 9 movies. And they always do unbelievably well.
And they don't cost a don't cost a dime compared to the other stuff.
They do them overseas, they do them really quick, but they're cool. I mean, it was like Scorpion King 9. They've done all those. I would kill to write those.
I think we need to have like a 10 movie straight to video action series. And I think a great gag is we have Eric Roberts play a different person in each one of them.
That's a great gag, actually. He's been in a lot of them.
Well, I'm looking up Eric Roberts. Hold on.
He was the best, how I knew him, but obviously
Okay.
Julia Roberts' brother, and he was the Pope of Greenwich Village with what's his face, the guy from The Wrestler. I can't say it.
Mickey Rourke?
Yes, but I always think about Mickey Rourke because he's in one of my favorite movies, which is a weird remake of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid called Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
I just saw a clip of this 2 days ago.
It's my favorite with Don Johnson. Don Johnson's so rad, and Mickey Rourke's so awesome, and it's like in the not too distant future, and they play Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man, and it's like it is fantastic. I love that movie.
What DVD bin are all these movies coming out of, Jeremy?
What was that?
What DVD bin are all these movies coming out of?
I mean, listen, we didn't have a lot when we were growing up, so you got what you got, and you didn't complain. But that one actually, a lot of what I love about low budget movies in general, and what we're calling low budget movies, is exactly what we're talking about with Sudden Death. Is that even though Sudden Death was theatrical, it definitely wasn't probably as high priced as some of his other ones. But a lot of those movies, like Van Damme's first movie, real starring role was Cyborg. And that was directed by a guy named Albert Pyun. And it's not an expensive movie. It's a very low budget movie. But you got to imagine me in 1980, whatever. And there's this a cardboard cutout of this cyborg. I don't know who the Muscles from Brussels is, but he looks cool as hell, And the trailer has this moment where there's this muscle-bound guy in chainmail going through the sewer, and he looks up, and the camera pans up, and there's Van Damme doing the splits with a knife, and just like whoom, hits him in the head. And I was like, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, And to a degree, what was cool about all those like lower budget movies are that they go for broke. And they don't have to do CGI. They can do something crazy. What's the clown movie that's so big now that they have like 5 sequels to, the horror movie?
Oh, Terrifier.
Terrifier. It's so gross. It's so out there. They just had one called Clown in a Cornfield that cost $1 million to make and made $3.5 million in the theater. And it's like, you shake your head, but you're like, when we were growing up, that's what kept this things in business. And out here, Tarantino has his own movie theater called the New Bev, and he also has the Vista, but they always play these low-budget movies. I am telling you right now, there is no better way to see a movie like these types of movies than with a crowd. I saw Ninja 3: The Domination. It was one of the best movie-going experience I've ever had, where people are just screaming because you're just like, this is insane, And it's like, that's why you go to the movie. You're not doing that in any movie you're watching now, you're not sitting there going like, "Oh my gosh!" Like that doesn't come out of your mouth when you're watching movies.
Clearly, you haven't seen Minecraft.
Oh my gosh! Well, I did. I have 2 kids, so of course I've seen Minecraft.
Did you scream when the chicken jockey came up?
Not me, but the kids were losing their minds. You know, they were laughing their heads. I giggled. I didn't know it was directed by the guy who did Napoleon Dynamite, which when Napoleon Dynamite came out, I had more than one person call me and go, dude, they did a documentary about your life. And then I watched the first opening scene of Napoleon Dynamite. I'm like, crap, dude. I had action figures I threw out the bus too. It was so embarrassing. I actually found Minecraft to be humorous. I see a lot of kids stuff, and at least this one knew what it was, you know.
It just came out on PVOD, and we got suckered into. My son saw it, and he was like, Minecraft, and we're like, fuck, $30, here you go, Amazon.
I mean, Jack Black, dude, like, he's been in the most. First of all, between that and Super Mario Brothers, the guy is like the golden goose when it comes to video games, you know. And it's the same formula. Okay, you got to sing a song now. It's like, all right, and my kids play that freaking song. Like it was Peaches, Peaches, Peaches forever. And now it's Lava Chicken.
La 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 lava.
I mean, every day. No, it's crazy.
Did he sing a song in Borderlands?
Was he even in Borderlands?
He was Claptrap.
That's
You know what? I don't think he did, but I don't remember much.
That's why I failed. They screwed
Nobody
up.
does. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to rate the movie.
Yeah,
so we do 5-star ratings here. So out of 5, you give it. I give it 3.
I'll give it a on my scale of Van Damage. It's actually a 2.5 for me. It's not the best.
It's not. It's not nowhere to run.
It's not. Oh gosh, that's 1.
That's my first Van Damme. I saw it when I was like 8.
No, at 8, no.
Very inappropriate for an 8-year-old.
You know what I love
Might have
is-
been the first. Might have been the first naked woman I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, did you ever see Double Team
What kind of movie are you recommending?
with Dennis Rodman co-stars?
Oh my god!
What kind of movie are you recommending
have
on
you
this
seen the Crazy
PG
Series?
podcast?
I don't know if you've ever seen The Prisoner, which is a very beloved spy show from 60s, I think. And in film school, they made us watch it, and it's freaking great. It's this crazy. It's what they take spies, British spies, and when they retire, they put them on this island, and there's no escape from this island. In the middle of this Van Damme movie called Double Team, they straight up, absolutely rip it off, like in a degree that you're like, so you just said, yeah, let's do The Prisoner in this section, and anyway, it doesn't matter. Sorry. Okay, so 2.5, 3. What's yours?
I give this a 3.5. It's stupid. It's
right.
stupid and bad, and I loved every minute of it.
All right.
The mascot stuff really carries it.
Yeah.
And then dad movies out of a 100 rating, how much percentage of a dad movie is this?
Oh, dude.
If the second act was better, I'd give it 100,
Yeah.
but I would have to lower it to maybe a 70.
That's where I was thinking, like a
Yeah,
7. Yeah.
the bomb hunting stuff. It reminded me of Metal Gear Solid 2 when you're running around hunting the bombs, and I remember how much I hated that.
Oh,
And I was watching this on my phone, so I couldn't be on my phone.
Yeah. I mean, but if it was on TNT or something, I'd probably just keep watching it. Yeah. Flip it on.
I think
Yeah.
70 is fair. I think 70 is really fair.
70%. Well, that means it is dad certified.
That's right.
It's put the dad stamp of approval on it.
Yeah. The stamp, whatever the stamp she had, the little girl had on.
Daddy, there's
him.
It's the daddy rating. It's the dad
Chekhov
rating.
stamp.
That head turn.
The zoom in.
reveal.
The zoom in is amazing.
It's
The
so
reveal of the must. Is that good face acting, Matt? Are we putting that on the the face acting spectrum?
He doesn't really make a face. That's just his normal face, but with a bad mustache.
Oh, man.
He looked like he was going to coach football. All right. Speaking of negative Nancy's, next up is our negative Nancy segment. This is where we hop on IMDb and find the people that watched a movie and then decided to complain about the most mundane things. They typed out a whole sentence or
This is
sometimes
my career in
paragraph.
Comics. I can't do this. I mean, I had a guy get mad at me. He's like, I just don't know where this is going. And I said, is that what you want to know in a story? You want to know where it's going? I would think that nah, you maybe don't want to know where it's going. You know, like you read a murder mystery, it's like I don't know who killed him. It's like, yeah, you probably don't. Maybe you should finish the book. You know?
So I'll read mine here first. I've got Darren McCord passes up several golden opportunities to take the guns from the conspirators he has killed, while several conspirators who could have easily killed McCord instead inexplicably tell him to turn around and taunt him, giving McCord the time needed to thwart them. This must be Baby's first action movie.
You know what I saw? I saw a lot on IMDb. This one that killed me was that this. I'll just read this, and this is these are our American. Like, listen, I'm this type of guy, but like not really. This is the most American review you could ever have. Okay, this Powers Booth's handguns change several times throughout the film. Like Carla, his gun suddenly changes from a 6-hour P226 9mm to a Heckler & Koch VP7Q 9mm. It's like some guys like did you see that? Barbara, did you see that? The gun's changed.
Barbara, get in here, Barbara.
Like, I mean,
Look at this. Look at
there's
this.
no continuity. There's no standards anymore.
He's probably calling his buddies. Hey,
Yeah,
turn on channel 59.
yeah.
Yeah, sudden death. Look at his guns.
You like sudden death? No. There was a scene with 2 9mm guns made by different manufacturers. Sure, they tried to pass it off like we wouldn't know.
Hollywood's just not what it used to be.
Bunch of woke morons. Like we wouldn't know.
This is how fucking nerdy sports fans are. This person decided to come on IMDb to type this. McCord states that his son is sitting in D10. However, in the Civic Arena, the location where McCord's children are seated is actually C10.
It's like, wow.
Thanks. Thanks for that
again.
information.
Yeah, that's even worse than the guns. Yeah, it's just like some guy's like, hold on a minute. And he pulls up, he's like, I need to do some typing. It's like
I think if you know the seat numbers and rows just by looking,
yeah.
you go there too much.
Also, by the way, I don't know if this guy's telling the truth. He could just be a chaos agent. This wrote at IMDb. There's no checks and balances here. I have to take this guy's word.
My new favorite thing about these is recently I'll hop on and they'll just be like typo ridden or like there'll be like 5 periods. It's just like, wait, aren't you nitpicking a movie? But now you don't know how to fucking type.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've taken the time to complain about the most mundane detail, and they haven't looked at their own details.
I know.
Better tighten it up. We're coming for you.
Up.
You may be anonymous, but we're coming for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt, do you have it's survey time, right?
It's dad joke time first.
Dad joke time. That's right.
Oh, dad joke time.
I do have a dad joke.
Okay, hit me.
A man recently passed away while working late. It was sudden death overtime.
Ho!
Jeez.
I thought it could be is any movie related dad joke, or just this dad joke?
It could be any dad
It
joke.
could be anything. This is the hardest part of the show, so
We sometimes
you can play
know
hard and
why.
fast.
I just did this one because my kids keep bugging me to try to watch Mufasa. And I'm like, I don't want to see it. Like they're like, no, you got to watch Mufasa. I'm like, no, I don't need to watch it. Like there's just some things in my life I don't need to see. This is what, and now I've given the punchline. What do you say to Simba when he's moving too slow? Mufasa.
You'll love the music in that.
I'm
What did you
sure I
say
will.
about my brother? That's not a
Right
thing.
now, my daughter's really into Mission Impossible, so like I'm like,
Oh,
right now.
that's great.
Yeah.
I've got a long one. Give me. I found this on the internet. That's right. I outsourced my dad joke for this week,
Okay.
and I hope it's good. We'll see. One day, a cop pulls a van over, and when he walks up to the window, he sees 10 penguins in the back. The cop asks the man, "Are those your penguins?" The man says, "Yes, they are my pets." The cop replies to the man, "You need to take them to the zoo right now." So the man agrees and drives them off. The next day, the cop pulls over the same van and he walks up to the window and sees 10 penguins all wearing sunglasses. The cop says to the man, "I thought I told you to take those penguins to the zoo." The man says, "I did. Today we're going to the beach."
I'm here for it. Love it. Love it. Terrible. Terrible.
And his name was Mr. Popper.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
internet saved me on that one. Oof. I was
right.
like, oh, please be going somewhere. Please be going somewhere. And they, in fact, went somewhere
They win.
They went there. They went all the way.
to the beach.
All right, survey time.
It is survey
time.
time. It is time for the dad questionnaire. I'm going to give you 15 questions.
I can't wait.
You are going to give me the just answer straight from the heart, the first thing that comes to you, and then
Hey,
by the
Nick,
end
what? Okay, we haven't started.
by the end of this questionnaire, the listeners, which includes Steve Buscemi, will know how dad you are.
Okay, go.
Question 1: Do you think you could land an airplane in an emergency?
Hell yes, I could.
Question 2: What is your favorite action movie?
Oh my gosh, you guys. Favorite action movies: Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, it's a good one.
Ooh, okay. Question
I
3:
would
What
say
is
Die Hard, but Big Trouble in Little China, I'm just gonna put a little genre flavor in there. Go ahead.
Question 3: What is your remote drop movie? This is the movie that when you see it on TV, you drop the remote and watch.
Oh man. I'm gonna say it. It is Top Gun. It's that first Top Gun. I could watch it. Tony Scott. It's just Iceman. I know. Let's go.
Question 4: How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Not as much as you think, but still more than most. That's the thing. Not that much, but
Question- You think about it enough.
yeah. But it's always in context of like Gladiator.
All right. Question 5: Have you ever watched a movie standing up? And if so, what's the longest you've lasted before sitting?
Oh my gosh. Yes, but that's when I was working at Blockbuster where we had to stand. So I could stand for an entire movie if I needed to. But most of the time I'm sitting down. I get comfortable. I like to get comfortable with movies.
Do you remember a specific Blockbuster movie that you were standing there watching as like someone was like, hello, can I get some service here?
I had this real like freaking weirdo moment once where I was putting away tapes and I look up and I see on the screen because we would put in all sorts of movies and there's Harrison Ford with the fedora but he had a beard and I was like, he's Indiana Jones. He's playing Indiana Jones and I'm going, I don't understand what's happening. What is this? Like, this isn't any of the movies. Like, and I'm freaking out. Like, I'm having like, did I miss an Indiana Jones movie? Like, what's going on? Like, I was just like trying to find my manager. Like, what's happening on the screen? What is this? And it was, it's like the curse of the trumpet or something in the young Indiana Jones. And I think when the ratings were dipped, they got Harrison Ford to do this whole cold open as Indiana Jones. And it's awesome. And I was just like, I was freaking out. Like, I was just like, what is happening? Other than that, we would put movies on all the time at night. You're not supposed to, but we put on all these old movies, like, the Blue Rose of Cairo and different things. Why we watch at night? Anyways.
All right. Question 6: If you were stranded on a deserted island, what movie would you want with you? And you are allowed to watch it. You have the capability.
I have the capability.
It's not just the box. It's not just the DVD.
Oh, dude. It'd probably be Braveheart. I freaking love that movie.
These are good
It's
picks.
Good picks. Okay. Question 7: How many works of Taylor Sheridan have you seen?
A lot. A lot. I mean, TV and film. Yeah, a lot. But what's funny, if you're watching Taylor Sheridan, like Hell or High Water or whatever, but I would watch Yellowstone. And then it's not, so he did one, it's like there's, the first one is 1823, I think, and then there's a sequel that has Harrison Ford in it.
Yes.
Is that
The
19?
first one,
1923.
yeah, so the first one it's amazing. It is one of the most beautiful. It's all kind of the Oregon Trail, and you're like, this is a wonderful, poetic, awesome thing. And then it'd be like, I'll watch Landman, and I'll be like, Billy Bob Thornton's great. The subplot with his wife is not great. And so anyways, when he's filming that original prequel, you can tell when he takes his eye off the ball with Yellowstone, and you're like, oh, you don't care at all what's happening here. Like, anyways, yeah. So I've seen a lot of Taylor Sheridan.
Isn't Landman the one where he has like that awkward scene with his daughter about like her sex life?
Yes.
Jesus,
Yes.
that's what that
The
is.
whole
Oh,
with the daughter and the wife are it is. But this guy, listen, he's got the keys to the kingdom. Like as somebody in the industry, like I can't begrudge somebody that's basically getting carte blanche to do whatever he wants. And even better, he's charging the studio for like, oh, we're shooting on a ranch. Well, how about it's my ranch and you pay me to shoot on the ranch and you pay me for that? It's like, oh my gosh, he's got the greatest grift ever.
One of my friends jokingly called him Tyler Perry for the Midwest.
I mean, you're not wrong. The funny thing is that, like, I feel like his shows can be uneven, but they can be really great, and then they can be uneven, and then be really great. And his movies are.
He's Shonda Rhimes for White Dads.
The funny thing about Yellowstone is that it feels so much like Sons of Anarchy, and from what I hear, he didn't really like his time on Sons of Anarchy. It's the whole reason they killed him off. So it's funny that his big show that everyone knows him for is basically the show that he hated.
I mean, funny. All right, what's next?
All right. If a loved one was kidnapped, which movie character would you most emulate while attempting a dare and rescue?
I mean, aren't we all doing Liam Neeson and Taken at this point? I would say that's who I'd want to emulate. It would much more come out like, some crazed, lunatic. It would be more like Tom Cruise in Night and Day, just slightly ajar as I do crazy things to get my family back.
You know what? Tom Cruise in Night and Day was very skilled, though. I think you'd accomplish your mission.
I have enough skills, and I'm not afraid to just waste people. No, it just is.
All right, question 9. Do you let others touch the thermostat?
No. Not just a no, but a hell no.
He's got a lockbox on it.
Socks.
Not just a no, a laughing no.
Yeah.
Question 10. What is the best sandwich?
Oh, dude. There's a Jersey Mike's number 14. This is so good with extra Mike's Way. It's like an Italian hoagie, essentially. And in Prescott, my hometown, they do this. There's this place called, oh my gosh, I can't think of it for the life of me. But they do it with cabbage instead of lettuce. And it's Nick's Feed Your Face is the name of the restaurant. And it's an Italian with like vinegar and oil. Oh, so good.
Interesting.
I'm hungry now. I looked it up. It's really good.
Yeah.
Nick, feed your face.
Hey.
Question 11. Who is the best Jack? Bauer, Reacher, or Ryan?
Oh my gosh. That's good. I'm going to say Bauer. I love that.
He gets results.
He not only gets results, but I find myself, as a dad, you are Jack Bauer. You do not negotiate with these little terrorists, and you try to figure out their weakest points to make sure that they tell you and do exactly what you want to do. And that's what Bauer was known for, right?
And you're always running out of time.
Always running out of time. Always trying to get across town in L.A.
Never going to the bathroom.
Nope.
Not once.
Not once.
He gets a lot done in a day. Leave him alone.
Yeah. And then when you say Jack Ryan, it's like which Jack Ryan? Like Alec Baldwin Jack Ryan, Hunt for October? Or are you talking about Harrison Ford Jack Ryan, or even Chris Pine Jack Ryan? There's a lot of Jack Ryans, and I can't even pull off Jack Reacher. I'm not even going to try.
He's big.
He's a large man.
Yeah, he's a large dude.
Question 12. What is your favorite movie quote?
Oh my gosh. My favorite movie quote, bar none. A lot of them are from Big Trouble in Little China, but I'll give you one from a very oft not seen movie. I would quote it all the time in college. It's called Gunman, starring Mario Van Peebles and Christopher Lambert. Also has Dennis Leary and Patrick Stewart in it. And there's this really weird scene where Christopher Lambert's sitting there as a big guy with like this poncho on. He's like, I like your haircut. And he goes, the blanket makes the haircut. Like, it was just the most random thing ever. It's so dumb.
Is this a Western?
No. But all the quotes I like are really weird. Like, Buckaroo Banzai, Adventures Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. It's your hand, Buckaroo. It's like wherever you go, there you are. That's another one I love. And the Big Trouble in Little China, those are like, like black blood of the earth? He goes, no. You mean like oil? And he goes, no, I mean black blood of the earth. That's a really good one. Anyways, I can go on and on.
Okay.
I googled this quote, by the way, and Google's like, I don't know what the fuck you're on about.
No, because you know how many people have seen that movie? And by the way, Gunman was written by Stephen Sommers, who went on to do the Mummy movies and the GI Joe movies and stuff. And he also did this really great movie after Gunman called Deep Rising, which is like 3 movies put together with Treat Williams. It's bananas. It's a
Googling this movie.
Die Hard movie on a cruise ship, but there's a monster. There's a sea monster on this. It's crazy. The cover's terrible. He's on like a jet ski. Yeah, Stephen Summers, man.
This movie was released in theaters.
Yeah, it was.
Incredible.
And well, the Christopher Lambert, the Gunman with Christopher Lambert and Mario Van Peebles, this is a piece of information you didn't want. There's so much chemistry there as far as their team working together that they ended up doing Highlander 3 together after it, weirdly.
This is a very phallic movie poster.
Yeah. It's Gunman is like a weird loose remake of Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Well, now I'm jotting this down because I might try to hunt this down.
It's a weird one. You won't like it.
It's only an hour 34. Hey, anything around 90 minutes, I already love it.
I love it. I love that movie.
The perfect runtime.
It's one of those movies that has enough of like smiling laughter in it, as an action movie. That's what I love. The Lethal Weapon kind of Shane Black vibes. Anyways, go ahead.
Who is the coolest movie character?
Oh my gosh, the coolest movie character?
The coolest.
The coolest? It has to be Kurt Russell in something. Maybe Kurt Russell in The Thing is like the coolest with the giant head. I don't know. The coolest though. The coolest. Hold on. Hold as my brain sifts through the the tons of junk. I mean, Indiana Jones is probably the coolest movie character. He really is. He can get the ladies, he can fight,
Yeah.
he's smart.
Yeah, he just shoots that one guy.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Question 14. Favorite dad joke?
I don't have a favorite dad joke. They're all good. I did tell one of my daughter the other day. I saw it was. I'm gonna get this terrible. This is part of being a dad. Is like you get the joke wrong. Why is the water wet? 'Cause
Why?
the seaweed.
Because it's seaweed.
No, the seaweed, like peed, weed.
Oh, CP.
That's it. Terrible.
Just like
All
a
right.
dad joke should be.
Yeah.
Question 15. The final and most important question. What is the best Tom Cruise movie?
Oh my gosh, guys.
It's a good
can't
survey.
say that to me. That's a good question. This is gonna break the computer. I told you Top Gun is one I will watch all the time, and I think it is Top Gun. Runners up include Collateral, which is freaking rad.
He does that for a living.
He does.
The Mission Possible movies are great, but I defy you not to watch Night and Day and go, man.
I love Night and Day.
It's a good.
I'm
movie.
a hardened Night and Day defender.
I've never seen it. Is that the one he did with Cameron Diaz?
It's the one he did with Cameron Diaz. He's essentially playing himself.
It's so good.
And he's just like a super agent, and Cameron Diaz just watches in bewilderment, and he's good at everything.
Yeah.
Was this just a movie so he could kiss Cameron Diaz? Is this what this is?
Maybe.
I heard the story I heard. This is apocryphal, and it's probably not true. Me telling, but this is the story. No, I can't say it. I can't say it. Someday I'm going to work with them. They're going to track back to this thing, and I'm going to get in trouble. I'll tell you later sometime.
You won't get the coconut cake. You won't get the coconut cake if you say anything.
That's everybody's goal.
The funny thing is that, even if his Days of Thunder or Color of Money, and even his more dramatic stuff like Rain Man and A Few Good Men, they're all good. Like, he rarely misses a beat. Edge of Tomorrow is one of my favorite movies, too. It's freaking awesome.
Live, Die, Repeat, for those who like better title.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like. I remember having that. I was like, why are they calling it Edge of Tomorrow? They had the commercial is right.
Well, Jeremy, the listeners now know just how dad you are. I'm not going to tell you your score because you don't have a score. Everybody thinks they're going to get a score. The score is up. The score is up to the listeners. They know. They will judge you, and they are not afraid to let it be known.
Oh, listen. That's my life. Like I said.
So this is the part where we usually spin the wheel, but we don't have a wheel to spin. So
That's
we're
right,
gonna,
because this is a bonus episode.
This is a bonus episode. We're gonna have Jeremy play
right.
us out. Jeremy, if anyone listening to this wants to keep up with you on the interweb, where can they find you?
You can find me on X under Space Kicker or Instagram under Space Kicker. That's about it. I have a website, but every time anybody goes there, it says this website is malware.
I'm gonna check this website out now.
And I'm like, go to spacekicker.com, and it's hilarious because it's like, man, I can't figure
I'm
it
gonna
out.
go to this website now.
Yeah, you can buy stuff.
Fun fact, by the way, Matt, before we get out of here,
Yeah.
when I wrote my piece about a friend running off in Fortnite, that was about Jeremy.
Wasn't it a
Listen.
picture of him too?
Yeah, it was a picture of him.
These
You tried to
people
change it, and I was like, no, it has to be the picture of this guy,
They spend
please.
10 years in one space, and I'm like, oh gosh.
All right.
But there's no coincidence that him and I haven't played Fortnite on the regular since that article came out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. No, it's called I'm in bed and almost asleep by 9 o'clock. So
You are getting up there. You are getting up there.
Yes.
I'm old.
According to McAfee, this is a suspicious website.
yeah. See?
We'll link to it. We'll put
I
a link
just
to it.
don't understand. I look it up, and I think it's because it's through Squarespace or there's like links to Amazon. I don't know, man.
Right.
We'll link to it in the show notes for everybody. But
Yeah.
Jeremy, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you. We'll have to get you on for another Van Damme movie down the
Oh,
line.
yeah, get
Yes.
something good, man. Let's go back into the archives of awesome Van Damme.
Yeah.
We'll
Maybe
do
we'll do
Bloodsport.
Time
It'll be
Cop
Bloodsport.
next. What was the one he did with?
Time Cop.
What was the one he did? What was the John Woo one he did?
Oh, Hard Target. It has the single greatest Wilford Brimley moment ever put on film. It's insane. If you look at it, you can look it up. It's like it might be the best frame in all of cinema. It's legit Wilford Brimley riding his horse away from his moonshine cabin that's exploding behind him, and he's got a bow in one hand.
Are there
and
doves?
and he's wearing galoshes, and he's just like and it's he really did it, and it's like, oh my gosh. It also has one of the greatest stunts, a stuntman that leaps over a moving truck. He broke his foot. Anyways, I can go on. And it was a great movie.
I think we got to put Hard Target on the next wheel.
We're going to get Hard Target. We're going to get Jeremy back on. Jeremy, again,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for coming on. We'll see you at the next Van Damme movie. Everyone, this has been Stand and Watch. Remember, don't tell your mother.
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, good. I never get the closing line right.
Love it. I love it.